Here is the monthly AQI air quality data analysis report for the month of March 2022. March 2022, or you can say any March, in fact, any year. March month is always 31 days month. So there were 4721 data for March 2022. I mean, all this data I'm talking about are shared or are sourced from the Central Pollution Control Board. Month's average was 152 cities per day, maximum was 164 cities in a day, and minimum was 137 cities in a day. So in how many cities AQI data was in good category in March 2022? Month's average was 7. Just to remind you that it was 10 in February 2022 and 16 in January 2022. So the good category has come down from 16 to 10 to 7 in March. Maximum number of good category AQI cities in a single day in March was 14, and it happened on 2 days. One is on 8th of March and one is on 31st of March. Minimum number was 2, and it was on 15th and 17th of March. Now if we talk about other categories like satisfactory, moderate, poor, then satisfactory category average was 42, maximum 72, and minimum was 24. Moderate 71, 91 and 57. I'm sharing a slide of this, or maybe a photo of this, so that it will be easier for you. Then the poor was 28 average, maximum 14 cities were in poor category, and the minimum number was 12 for the month of March 2022. This is a slide, this is a graphical representation of the average AQI category versus the number of cities for the month of March 2022. What about very poor category? Month's average was 4, maximum number was 19, and it was on 18th of March. On 6 out of 31 days of the month, there was no city found in very poor category, which is a very good thing. And there were 4 different days in different cities when there was a severe category of AQI recorded. If you talk about the percentage of severe category cities or severe category data was 0.08% in March 2022. Now let's analyze daily worst AQI or highest AQI. Highest AQI or worst AQI was severe on 4 days in March. It was 17 days in February. So it has bettered. It has done. It has improved. 21 days it was in very poor category when it was 14 days in February. And 6 days it was in poor category. If you talk about daily worst AQI, it was recorded in NCR cities on 5 days of the month, while on 15 days it was found in cities from Bihar. Singrauli in Madhya Pradesh, the most polluted city of the month, having 7 worst AQI days. The month's worst AQI data was found to be 429 in a place called Katihar in Bihar, followed by 416 in Bihar Sharif, again in Bihar, and 411 in Singrauli, Madhya Pradesh. All the worst AQI data was predominantly caused by ultra-fine particulates. Ultra-fine particulates are basically PM10 and PM2.5. So PM10 was predominant or dominant on 18 days, while PM2.5 was dominant on 10 days. However, ozone was there predominant on 4 days of the month. The lowest daily AQI range was in 24 to 46, while it was 12 to 32 in February 2022. Srinagar quoted the lowest AQI value of 24, and it was not on 1 day, it was for 3 days of the month. Lowest daily AQI was recorded in Srinagar on 11 days of the month in March 2022. So out of 31 days in March, 11 days it was lowest AQI in Srinagar. What's the scene in Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata? March 2022 monthly average in Delhi was 216 and Mumbai 163. Chennai 78 and Kolkata 135. If you talk about, this is the graphical representation. If you talk about the range in February and March in Delhi, the lower side of the AQI has increased, but the higher side of the AQI has come down, which is a good thing. If you talk about February, it was 69 to 404. In March, it was 115 to 298. In Mumbai, during February, it was 74 to 381, while it was 105 to 216 in March. In Chennai, February data was 37 to 290, while it was 44 to 116 in March. Similarly, in Kolkata, February data was 49 to 306, while in March it was 64 to 231. Delhi AQI days, if you look into the data, there was no good AQI days. There was no good AQI days in January, February also. In March also there was no good AQI days. But in February there was one satisfactory AQI day in Delhi. In January and March there was 0 satisfactory days. Moderate days 12 in March, poor days 19, and there was no very poor or severe AQI days in Delhi in March 2022. If you talk about Mumbai AQI days, there was no good AQI days in March, satisfactory, no, moderate, no, poor AQI days 26, and very poor AQI days 5. So 31 days, just poor and very poor. There was no severe AQI days too. Chennai, 4 days, good AQI, satisfactory 23, moderate 4 days. Poor, very poor and severe, none of the days. Kolkata, there was no good AQI day. 13 satisfactory AQI days, moderate 15 days, and poor AQI days 3. So I think you will find this data useful. Some of the parents were asking about such data. That's why I started sharing. If you have any further questions, any suggestions, please do share with me. And please mention in the comment section. Thank you.